Spider strength, people. Think I can fake that? Actually, I do. And who are you supposed to be? SpiderMan. The real one. The real one? You don't even have the costume right. I'm in mourning for my buried wreck.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books, I love talking about them, I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that I have plot synopsis and character bios for these issues. So we're going to be looking at the 6th issue, Kraven's Last Hunt. So this took place over the 3 Spider-Man titles in 1987: Web of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and Spectacular Spider-Man. So we're going to start with part 1, which is Web of Spider-Man number 31. It is the same creative team throughout all 6 issues, and iconic cover. I have all 6 issues beat up and not worth anything, but they're worth a ton to me. They're the original issues as I picked them up in 1987. So, yeah, so here we go. Part 1 is called The Coffin, and we got Kraven the Hunter. I am Kraven. The creative team is J.M. DeMatteis is the writer. J.M. DeMatteis was also the co-writer in Justice League International, JLI, along with Keith Giffen and Kevin Maguire. Mike Zeck is the penciler, and Bob McLeod is the inker. So, all right, great pose here of Kraven. The Beast. And so these are stuffed animals, by the way. And so he goes in, knocks him out. Now comes the gorilla. Beautiful. This is just awesome. And my mind is rage and glory as he knocks off the head and throws it off. My heart is fire and pride. My body is grace and power. I am a Kravenov. And so we see this dude here creating a grave. He's digging a grave here. The man, an old man now, though few would believe it, just a child when my parents came to this country shortly after the overthrow of the Tsar some 70-odd years ago. There's no more room in Russia for aristocrats, for culture, for honor, for human dignity. But all those things were bred in my bones long before the Trotskys and Lenins dragged my homeland into the pit. Dignity, honor, where are such qualities today? All the world, it seems, has followed Russia's sad example. You can see him pour himself a drink here. Were my parents alive today, they would look upon this frightened, wounded animal called civilization without recognition and with great fear and great disgust. And so he opens up a secret room here. I am Kraven as he goes in to enter it. The Hunter. I have found dignity not in the cities but in the jungles. I have found honor not in the civilized but in the primal. I have found morality. I have found meaning in the hunt. But I cannot escape time forever. Herbs and roots and potions cannot rejuvenate a dying spirit or heal a heart crushed by the weight of a corrupted age. And he's walking toward this empty coffin here. I will die soon. I must die soon. And so he examines it and takes out Spider-Man's costume. At this time, he was wearing the black costume. It wasn't the symbiote. He was just wearing a replica of it. But not yet, as a tear flows down and he holds the mask. So we go somewhere else here. And it says here, Joe Face is dead. Why should I care? He was just another street snitch, a 2-bit thug. Sometimes I'd pump him for information, and sometimes I'd put him away. And now he's dead, and why should I care? And we see this bar here. How many Joe Faces have I known over the years? Too many to count. They're not people. They're obstacles in my way, means to an end. And if they die, and so here The bar is closed. Poor stupid sap, someone says, and you see the sorry we're closed here as the rain is pouring. Why should I care? Didn't leave behind no money, no family to speak of. We're all you had, Joey, and this is the best we could do. And so we go back to this dude digging a grave here. You see shuck, shuck, shuck. We got up a collection for you, Joey. Figured at least we owed you a decent box and a piece in the ground. Yeah, and maybe someday somebody will do the same for. And so they hear creak us. Holy jeez. And so Spider-Man's above. But they can't quite get the name out of their mouth. They're too scared, running from someone who doesn't even exist. Joe Face was scared too. He used to shake when he'd see me. He used to run, just like they're running. There is no Spider-Man. He's a mask, a myth. And so uses the web here. This is pre-McFarlane here. Stop. I didn't come looking for trouble, says Spider-Man. I lie. Oh, sure. It'd be great if putting on a costume could miraculously change the man underneath it, but it can't. I'm not Spider-Man. I'm just Peter Parker, and I guess I do care. And Peter says, I came to say goodbye. But they'll never understand. That's how, how could they? How could anybody? And so this guy's like, Harry, no. Sometimes I wish I could get into their heads, see myself the way they see me. And you can see Harry pulling up a gun. You kidding? I nailed that wall crawler freak, and my rep's made in this town. On second thought, maybe not, he continues thinking. And he says, don't even try. And so, good boy, Harry, skitter off into the corner and hide. So he is going to take out some money here. Wouldn't want to get too close to the wall crawling freak, would you? Wouldn't want to find out he's as human as you are. And so a decent box and a piece of ground as fragile. So Spider-Man came in to drop some money into that collection plate, and this dude keeps digging a grave. As scared of dying, that's what this is all about. Yesterday, Ned Leeds. Now, Joe Face. Tomorrow, Aunt May, Mary Jane. So, real quick, this is after Ned Leeds was killed when people believed that he was the Hobgoblin. We now know that wasn't quite what happened, but hey. And then this is also after the proposal and marriage of Peter. So, at least it takes place after. So anyway, so Peter continues here. Me, funny, I'm out there facing every day as Spider-Man, but I never really think about it. Guess I don't let myself. Yet so many people I love have died before their time. Uncle Ben, Captain Stacy, Gwen, now Ned. Do I think myself somehow immune? I'm going to die. And so he's going to get rid of the spider, but lets it be, and then turns off the light, but not yet. And so we now go back to Kraven, and he's in this room with a bunch of spiders, and this coming part's a little bit disgusting. So it starts eating them, and you see this tonight. And so all of a sudden, no, and Peter wakes up. He had a bad dream. Dream. It was only a dream. No, a nightmare. Cold and dark, wet, and things. And here's, this is just gross. Things crawling all over me. Couldn't breathe or think, couldn't move things. And then tonight, Kraven keeps thinking here. Beautiful art. Mike Zeck does beautiful work. Spiders. And he ends up squishing it here. Tonight. And then Peter leaves. Head's pounding. Like someone's playing drums inside my brain. Jungle drums. I got the shivers, stomachs and knots. Maybe I'll just crawl up into a ball and... No, just keep moving. Gotta keep moving and everything will be alright. So we see this... I love these breaks in panels when it's the same background, but it's very animated here. So you see Spider-Man kind of moving through. And the same over here. For years, Spider-Man has sordid me, mocked me, humiliated me. In the beginning, I was naive. I thought he was a man, but he couldn't possibly be a man. No man could do to Kraven what Spider has. No man. So Kraven the Hunter, you can see he's coming through this helicopter and jumps into this building here. So black, so inhuman, so beautiful. You exist to test me, don't you? To taunt me, to challenge me. And I cannot rest until I have proven myself, until I have destroyed you. Love the, not the zipatones, the screen tones here being laid out. I cannot rest, continues Kraven here. And this guy looks like the guy that was digging the grave, but he's still digging. Okay, Parker, let's get real. Ever since Ned died, you've been upset, really upset. So, that's to be expected. That's normal. So why? And what you're feeling now, it's not surprising. You haven't been sleeping well. You've been on the move constantly, and seeing Joe face tonight didn't help things. And so he continues going through the way, or jumping through and getting to town as it's still raining. So why am I so sure that your nerves are shot, you're dog tired, you're probably coming down with the flu and a raid? But it doesn't quite say raid because, you know, it's owned property. But so why am I so sure something's out there, that something's waiting for me? And so we continue with the grave. Spider, spider, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye? And you can see that there was the spider sense went off, and he avoids the shot here, or not shot, but the whatever. You know what this is. Could frame thy fearful symmetry. Dumb, dumb, very dumb. So, he hits him with a tranquilizer. That was the word, tranquilizer here. My spider sense warned me in time. I should have been able to dodge that second dart, but I was sloppy. No, dart. I was scared. Dart. Of course, it's gotta be him. And then he thinks of Joe Face, and he says, no, it can't be. He's dead. That dart must have been tipped with, I don't know, some kind of drug or portion. Joe Face, it's not Joe Face, it's, and then suddenly he sees them. Kraven, and come to me, Spider. And so, love this continuous going through here. That's really cool here. Tonight I have widened my consciousness with the herbs and roots. Tonight I have immersed myself in your being eaten off your flesh. Tonight my mind has penetrated your essence. It feasts upon you like maggots feasting on a corpse. Come to me. And so we continue here. It's not Joe Face, it's Kraven. It's not Joe Face, it's Kraven. It's not Joe Face, it's... And so, Kraven, it won't work, says Spider-Man. Come to me, Spider. Let honor be restored. And he hits him with that stick here, and you see thwack. That's twice I let him catch me. What the devil's wrong with me? Muscles are getting stiff. I can hardly lift my head. Oh, he's drugged me all right, but if I can just hang in there for a little bit, my recuperative powers should throw off the effects before it's too... You can see the net being thrown here. Terrific. Don't know what this net is made of, but it's something I'd have trouble with at full strength. Headaches getting worse. Love the art here. This is, of course, pre-McFarlane. And the way I'm feeling now, it could take me all night. Drums to break free. Jungle drums. So, okay, so maybe it will take all night. I've been in worse shape before. I know Kraven's methods. What's that he's got there? And so he sees the rifle here. He's just like Doc Ock and the Vulture and the rest of them. Looks like a rifle. So he's got the red one kind of throws you out. It's like two thoughts at the same time from Peter here. So he's gonna pack me off some secret hideout, spend a couple of hours ranting and raving, and then he's like, a rifle? And while he does that, I'll find a way to beat his smirk. His smirking face right into and then he's like, a rifle. So, and you can see Kraven, honor will be restored. Come on, Kraven, rifles aren't your style. Look at his eyes. There's something in his eyes. You've always wanted to pound me into hamburger. You've always been a macho man. This isn't the Kraven I know. With your bare hands. Oh, sorry. I always wanted to pound you in the hamburger with your bare hands. I read it out of order. He's out of his. Yesterday, Ned Lee. Today, Joe Face. Tomorrow, Aunt May, Mary Jane. And all of a sudden, blam! And it all goes black and continues digging the grave. Let me tell you, when I saw this in 1987, I was like, what the heck? This was by far the most adult Spider-Man story ever. Up to that time, it was just something. So here we see Spider-Man in the casket here. We see Kraven and two of his assistants in the gravedigger here. So they're going to put the coffin into the ground. And Kraven is going to fill it back up. You can see like a sorrow look in his face. But suddenly he goes from sad and smiles big and hands it to the gravedigger, who is now going to fill it up in this spider. And so we get spider burning bright in the forest of the night. What immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? And so we go then to Amazing Spider-Man 293. And so this, of course, is the iconic cover as well, as we see Kraven holding Spider-Man's costume. And here we see, here lies Spider-Man slain by the hunter. And we've got part 2, crawling. So, and we see the thunder, Krakoom. And we see this mouse here. Same creative team. And we're like, but this is a bulkier Spider-Man. And of course, it is not Spider-Man. It is Kraven the Hunter, as he takes off the mask here and laughs. So, we see this person here. This isn't Mary Jane, even though it is a redhead, because of short hair and complaining about the weather. And this mouse kind of just scares her a little bit, and she ends up falling down here. Now you see here, this is a I think it's called Vermin. He's the big bad for the after Kraven. So he grabs her here and takes her down, and you see this yum. And so raining over the grave here. And so I'm not really going to read his parts, but so here she is, and here comes I really do think his name is Vermin here. And so yeah, it is. I haven't read these in forever. And she's like, who's, oh my god. And he's like, my name is Vermin. Yum, yum, yum. So, and so now we've got Mary Jane here. Mary Jane looks out at the rain here, and now we get her point of view here. Somehow I thought being a newlywed would be a little different. Sitting by the fire, drinking white wine, snuggling up. But of course that requires someone to snuggle with. And my someone, my husband, isn't here. Where are you, Peter? You were supposed to meet me here hours ago and help me pack the rest of my stuff, get it over to our place. But no, you're probably out there webbing around, making the world free and safe for democracy, fighting for your life against Dr. Squid or Octopus or whatever his name is. You're probably, and then she goes, dead? Stop that, Mary Jane. Peter's been playing hero since high school. He's good at what he does. He's dead. Oh, great. Spend a fortune on these Manhattan rents, and this is what you get for your money. And she goes, freeze, you little. Peter's dead. So, she's suspecting something. She's going to go get that rat. He's not dead. He's perfectly fine. He's just a little late. Oh, you're a bold one, huh? Want to fight. Lying in a alley, in a pool of blood, floating face down in the East River, shot, stabbed, bones broken, head crushed, dead. You filthy, disgusting. And then she kills the rat, and then she's like shocked and runs away. And so again, the rat here by his grave. So now Kraven is in Spider-Man, and you can see he's a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger here. The spider lies in a grave 100 miles from here, down in the darkness, blasted into oblivion by my hand, my great enemy, my greatest tormentor, the black, hideous, beautiful beast, by my hand. But it's not simply... Sorry, but it's not enough to simply destroy him. I must become him. I must prove myself superior to him, and laugh in the face of his hovering ghost. So he doesn't, of course, have his power, so he has to use his acrobatics or whatever to kind of make his way there. So now I see through the spider's eyes. I wear the spider skin. I crawl. Now I am the spider. And again, the grave now. So he keeps crawling, going into the room where there's all these spiders. No, I am Kravinoff, the man. I am Kraven, the hunter, and my metamorphosis is not yet complete. And you can see him press his face against the glass here. My metamorphosis. Why? I must merge with the spider, with its blasphemous sacred essence. Why am I, with the horror and majesty at its core? Why am I doing this? Don't question. Drink herbs and roots and juices, poisonous fruits and flowers. Let them pervade your mind, widen it, shatter your cravenness. And he drinks like an animal through his tongue. And let the spiderness let in. Why am I doing this? Pain. And he kind of screams here. For honor, pain. For dignity, pain. For all that your father bequeathed you, pain. My father, a pompous fool, a Russian nobleman exiled and living in poverty in America, too attached to what was to ever see what is. Pain. No. Father was good. No, father was a god, the last remnant of a world of culture and decency, the world the spider consumed. You did this. Russia was the model for a new and better, a holy civilization, and you crushed it. And he shatters the, not the window, the glass here. Just as you crushed my father, my heart, you take the guys, a Trotsky, a Lenin, a Hitler, a Reagan, a Gorbachev, a man in a mask. It makes no difference as he continues shattering the grass. You crawl and the world becomes meaningless. You crawl and humankind tumbles into the pit. I am Spider. I'm also, come out. I am so afraid. And the spider kind of merges into the spider creature as we still see the rat here. And now we see Vermin has eaten that girl. And he goes, looks at the papers and sees Spider-Man. And he's also an enemy of Captain America. So he thinks of him. And so he runs away. And he's going to go out and says, I'm not afraid. And then sees the spider here. And then he's like, just love it. And so he does go out and hide here. Run away. And they're like, squeak. He's like, quiet. I said quiet, and slams the poor little rat here. And then he eats it. And so here comes Mary Jane now. And so she's walking in the rain here. What am I doing out here? It's the middle of the night. Do I really think I'll find him? God, this is like when I was a kid and I'd stay out 5 minutes past my curfew and mom would come looking for me and embarrass me in front of my friends. I mean, what am I going to say when I find him? Oh, Spider-Man, you've been out too late and your wife's worried. Gee, not now. I'm fighting the hobgoblin. And so these guys, of course, do things, and she's like, They're hitting on Mary Jane here, and she tells him to get stuffed. And she thinks here, now that was smart. And back to the grave here. And here we see Kraven here, and you see get away, get away, get away. This is the saying, I stand before a shadow that doesn't exist, a shadow created by my drugged mind. There's nothing to fear. I am Kraven, Kravinoff, the hunter, man. There is no spider, no supernatural creature that inhabits men's soul. And you can see the getaway here. There's only Spider-Man, a costume adventurer who through sheer luck has managed to beat me time and time again down through the years. But now I have finally beaten him, and I want to magnify that defeat. But what? By taking his place, by proving myself superior to him, by proving myself a better Spider-Man, can my victory have any completeness, any meanings? But what if, yet instincts creating this thing, this spider, I cannot face the fact that a man was capable of besting me? But what if it's, well, stand up then, face him. But what if it's true? I am Kraven. I am the hunter. When my father died, when my mother, oh mother, what if it's true? I am Kraven. So, when I was reading this in 87, it really was a bit confusing. It doesn't read easy. But as an adult, it's easy. It's obviously much easier to really get it. But I just thought this story was so different from anything that had been before. So Kraven keeps fighting it. I turned my back upon this corrupted world, this sewer that dares to call itself civilized, and I turned to the primal, to the unsullied, to the jungle. How mad, how paradoxical. To find dignity and honor, sanctity and civilization in that which most men would call uncivilized. But I'm not most men. I see with eyes that pierce time and shadow and falsehood. I am Kraven, and I fear nothing. And so we're back to Vermin here. He feels like he's being called. I'm so afraid, says Kraven, as the spiders are consuming him. And so Vermin's gonna go to where he feels he's being called here. So, and look at this, just don't panic. Fear eats you. Fear murders you. Remember what you're doing. To become Spider-Man, you must absorb the essence of Spider-Man. You must let in Spiderness to surrender to it. I am Kraven. And so Vermin's like, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. And so here the spider and the rats going away. And so Mary Jane's being followed by those guys here. Keep walking, MJ. Don't look back. Shut off your mind. Shut off your ears. You don't hear their sneakers slapping in the puddles. You don't hear them giggling like chumps in heat. Oh, yes, I do. I'm out of here. And so she goes running, but they go running after her. And then here's Vermin, and they grab her here, and she's like, I'm dead. And so they're going to, do something unnice to her. But she's like, what are you smiling? Oh, nothing. As she looks up, I am the spider. And all of a sudden, Kraven just knocks this guy here face first. And this guy's going to run away. And Mary Jane is like, oh my God, he's so violent. He just punches him and punches him. And she's like, stop it, stop. And then drops him. And then he leaves. And he's like, I'm the spider. And she's like, that wasn't Peter. And so here comes Vermin. He goes out. And he goes, I'm hungry. And Spider-Man's laying by the hunter in the grave, and here comes the little spider. So, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 131, Part 3, Descent. And another great cover here, and I love the screen tones applied. Bob McLeod is an excellent inker. Bob McLeod did co-created the New Mutants with Chris Claremont, and most of the work he's done in comic books has been um, as an inker. So same creative team here, and you see Kraven SpiderMan here. Again, you can just tell by the thickness here. So Mike Zeck really does a good job drawing him much different. So Kraven is watching this drug deal here. I watch them through the glass, specimens, flies. Watch them. I am the spider. And he crashes through a window. And I know, in ways normal men cannot. I know. I see things beyond things. I see the strands of fate that binds us, victims to victor. So let them scream. Let them shout my name. As you see this guy here with the, would this be an Uzi? Then this dude here with the gun here. But Kraven's having none of that here. My ears hear nothing but the weaving of web. And I like the tongue here. It's a nice little detail here. And so Kraven is just beating the crap out of them here. They're trapped and jumping here, and he breaks this guy's neck here, and I devour them. Oh, this thing is so brutal, and you can see the guy just goes through. One game concludes, another begins. And so the police arrive here. They bust in, feigning shock, annoyance, fear. Magnificent actors in a play of my creation. They serve me, worship me, but the world must never know. So I like how he just goes on all fours here. So I skitter into the night while they order me to stop. Skitter, I. And this guy says, got away, blasted. And the other cop says, look on the bright side. He saved us a whole lot of trouble. We got every last one of these punks. And $500,000 in heroin without working up a sweat. Yeah, terrific. So how come I'm not happy about that? By the way, that bus would be bad because, well, maybe not. It's a vigilante that got him here. Don't you worry too much, Dave. Sure, Spider-Man's been a little out of control the past couple of weeks. A little. There are 15 men in the hospital, 15 maggots off the street, says the other cop. This one ain't going to any hospital, Lieutenant. And he says, why? Sorry, what? Why not? And they said, he's dead. So I am the spider, not the spider. And you can see a nice vertical panel here as Kraven climbs to the top. He takes the mask. I am Kraven. This just looks awesome. Look at that. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous panel. I have slain the spider, become him. And we continue here. I have hunted. Let me start again. I have hunted as the spider hunts, consumed the spider's prey. I've proven myself his superior in every way. No, almost every way. The final proof comes. And so back to the cemetery here, back to the headstone here. And so this lady calls for a taxi here. The taxi just splashes her, and she's not very happy. Yeah, great. Thanks a lot, jerk. I'll walk. It's only 10 blocks, and it's only pouring. And so off she goes. And, of course, Vermin grabs her here, and he says, yum. And you can see the blood kind of going through on her legs. So, and so he's killed this lady, and off he goes, and these two cops seen him. And this cop goes, Marsha, what is that? And she goes, biggest freaking dog I've ever seen. Wait a minute. That ain't no dog. That's a man. And so Vermin jumps up, and he says, what was I before? And this guy here is like, oh, my God, because he's whispering it. And you can see that here in the breaks here, although I don't think I'd be whispering. And throws this guy here, and he commands his rats. Oh, that's just disgusting here. And so this lady cop here pulls out the gun and shoots Vermin. And All right, just hold it right there. Now call off those rats. You hear me? You call them off. And so she's he tells them, "Go, let him go." And he smacks the gun away or slaps the gun away and grabs her here. And he says, "Mother, I love you," because he he reminds her of Vermin's mom when because he used to be human here, and this is just something here as he just and then he goes away. She's like, "Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, I love you." And so the spiders continue here. And so now we've got Robbie here. And so we got Mary Jane narrating again here because she's going to make an appearance here. "I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be coming here. But what else can I do?" And Robbie's reading the paper and watching the news at the same time. "It's been weeks since Peter's disappeared. He wouldn't just leave like that without telling me. Which means he's either dead. No, he can't be dead. He can't. Or..." And so there's the knock there, and Robbie's like, 1 o'clock in the morning. "Okay, I'm coming." And he sees Mary Jane here. And she says, "I know it's late." And he says to come in. And she looks like death warmed over. And he's like, "Gee, thanks." And he's like, "I didn't mean." And she says, "I know you didn't, Joe. I'm sorry. It's just that..." And so he asks her to sit down and asks if he can get her anything. And she says, "No, thank you." And so we continue here with her thoughts. Why did I come here? Because Joe Robertson is the editor of the Daily Bugle, because he's known Peter for years, because he's a man of intelligence and integrity, or because... MJ, what is wrong? Something wrong with Peter? Mr. Robert, Joe, there's someone out there, and either he's not Peter or Peter's gone insane. Either way, She's like, And then she's like, "I can't tell him. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have bothered you, really. I shouldn't have come here. It was nothing. Nothing. You're shaking and it was nothing. I'm very sorry." And she leaves. Bye. And she's like, even if he does know, I can't tell him. So, she was going to tell him that Peter is Spider-Man. So, but she didn't. And so more spiders here gathering. And so the lightning here. And Kraven sits here. And poor little rat here. As he tries to kill it, he's like, "Tonight." So I feel the herbs, the roots, the potions spreading wide in my mind. Feel them reaching out to touch destiny. And so the newspapers call him the cannibal killer. But I know it by name. I am the hunter. I know all the beasts intimately. I'm inside you, vermin. Can you hear my call? Don't resist. Like destiny, take out your hand. Draw us close together. I understand now that there must be a test, a final line to cross, a final madness embrace. And only then have I tested, crossed, embraced, will my victory over Spider-Man be complete, my honor be restored. And so Kraven puts the knife down. You are my test, vermin, my fire purification. Don't fear me, love me, for I intend to bless you. And then he tosses the cage out, which it makes no sense. To me at least. I'm like, well, why don't you just kill it? But whatever. And again, I'll just reread it. For I intend to bless you with pain and blood and sorrow tonight. And then another wonderful panel tonight. Oh my goodness gracious. And so more spiders coming out here. And so this this rat, it must be the rat that he tossed. That's why he didn't kill it. And so runs to it, and here comes Kraven, and he realizes someone's here, and suddenly, boom, and Vermin goes scree here, and Kraven says, "Hello, Vermin, remember me?" And he goes, "Spider-Man, yes. Remember the last time how we met, how you almost defeated me? Yes, but I defeated you, didn't I? No, not fair. You weren't alone. You had Captain Flag with you. you weren't alone. And so, um, you see here now, Vermin attacks here. That's right. I wasn't alone. I had help. I cheated. Alone, I could never have defeated you. Do you understand, Vermin? And his thoughts here. He's beautiful. Do you understand? He's vile. And he tosses him. Ah, sewer fights. Yes. He's mine, continues thinking Kraven here. And so, Vermin tries to get him. He evades him, and Kraven then kicks him here. But he bites him and scratches him there. And Kraven says, no, no, as he takes this pipe here now and hits him with it. And they're both growling here, and they both go through growling still at each other as they're fighting. And he continues here, Kraven. Alone, he could never have defeated you. And you can see the punch. Shaq, never. Brack. But I can. And so he continues punching him here. Dishonored father, sainted mother, stained honor, I can. As he just continues to hit. And so down he goes. I am the spider, and I know. In ways normal men cannot, I know. I see into things, beyond things. I see the strands of fate that binds us, victims to victors. I am the spider, and I rise up from the lower depth triumphant. And so, again, more spiders gathering. And so, this guy's drinking here up from the depth as Kraven takes Vermin and carries him. And triumphant, and this guy just looks in here. And suddenly you see the hand and you see Mary Jane. So Spider-Man is alive. Of course, we knew he was alive. So now back to Web of Spider-Man. So we've got part 4 and Resurrection, and I absolutely love this cover. As Peter is getting up from the grave with this "Here lies a Spider-Man." It is absolutely fantastic. So, warm, white, and you see Peter here in the fetal position, peaceful. And so, very quiet. I like it here. Wherever here is, whoever I am, I like it. Peter Parker, how are you, pal? And so this is Ned Leeds, who at this time we were led to believe is the Hobgoblin. And so Peter is kind of confused. He says, like, how are you here? You're dead. Peter's continues here, but that's impossible, because if you're dead, then I must be. No, I don't know anyone named Ned Leeds. Dead? Oh God, he's right. And just, oh my goodness gracious. I never heard of Peter Parker. I just want to be left alone in the warm white. Peace and quiet. And so, you see here, come out, come out, come out. And he keeps thinking, Mary Jane. Mary Jane, no such person. Something there. No beautiful eyes. Something's there. No soft lips. It's always there. No love. It's always there. No life. So the reading of this is a bit, it's just kind of, as I read it out loud, it just, I can see some of it, but I can see, a little bit of confusion. And let me tell you, in high school, as I read this, I was just blown away. I don't know. I didn't mind it too much. So you see this black panel, and suddenly you see this spider here. I am the spider. Spider the am I. Ned's dead. Gwen's dead. Uncle Ben's dead. I'm dead. No, I am the spider. Immortal, imperishable. Mary Jane. So, I'll skip over this reading. Here's the spider, and suddenly there is these creatures attacking. So, you see, I am Peter Parker, And so they kill the spider, but from the spider comes Peter. And so look at this. It come out, come out, come out, and here comes unmasking. You can see Kraven underneath it. And so he's gonna make his way toward the light here, and Peter is love this. Mary Jane, I'm coming. Mary Jane, I love you. Just Peter Parker. That's my weakness. And then he's like, that's my strength. Come out. And Peter here, that's come out. And so, oh please God, don't let it again. Don't let it happen again. I've got to see her, touch her, love her, so I can kill you. And so he shoots again. Mary Jane, you've got to help me. Don't leave me here. Don't let me lose you again. And so, very I would not oh my goodness, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of hallucinogenic here, or these things here, and so Peter going kind of back and forth with Kraven, and then we get this splash page here, resurrection, as Peter comes out. I love you. Just absolutely awesome. The credits are right here. It's the same people as before here. So this story, even though it's 6 parts, came out over 2 months because there were 3 titles. Each title was monthly. So this 6-part story just only took 2 months. You just had to buy 3 titles to get it, but I don't think people minded. I didn't. And so you see this here, and Peter's kind of wobbly. He falls down but gets up and walks towards Kraven's lair. Comes through, there's no one there, and continues here and reads the newspaper and reads that, and he goes, 2 weeks, and Kraven is like, he's out. 2 weeks in the ground, in the grave, dead. 2 weeks. And while I've been lying there trapped, you've been out there, Kraven, wearing my costume, abusing my name, usurping my life. 2 weeks. What did you shoot me with, Hunter? Not bullets, that's for sure. One of the jungle potions or roots or whatever you use. Shoot me up, lay me down, as good as dead. A zombie in the grave. Oh God, in the grave. 2 weeks in the grave. And he tosses the stuffed animals. And so you can see Peter just not taking it very well. But again, who would? And while I was writing down there, that was my family thinking. Aunt May, Mary Jane, my wife. 2 weeks. I think I'm gonna be sick. No, not yet. And so these two of Kraven's people here, you were right. It is him. I think we should get out of here. Why? Look at him. He looks weak. He can hardly, and he looks not. Yet. And so this is absolutely pretty cool here. Mike Zeck is a good artist here, good penciler. I wish he would, like, a lot of these really talented people, there's just not a big bibliography for them. They just were not really able to carry monthly titles on a consistent basis. So, where? And then he whispers, where? And so, look at them. They're terrified, and they think I'm going to kill them. And part of me wants to tear them apart, get back at him. But it's a very small part. And so he puts them down. I'll find Kraven. I'll deal with him. But not like a spider, as he walks away here. And so he goes through the door. And he continues here like a man. And so they call Kraven, and he goes, he's coming. And so we've got Vermin here. But I believe these are Peter's thoughts. Trapped, dead, an animal, 2 weeks in the ground, in the grave. And so you can see that this fence is electrified here. And so an animal, Mary Jane, dead, trapped. So all right, here, and so we've got Mary Jane here, but I believe it is still Peter narrating this here. What can it have been for? What could it have been like for you, waiting, wondering, knowing that there was someone, a lunatic out there, someone who called himself Spider-Man, a killer who might be your husband. So you read the papers, you watch the news, you don't sleep much, you cry, knowing you probably walk the streets looking for me. I pray to God you didn't find him, Kraven. And so 2 weeks, Mary Jane, 2 weeks of my life, our new life together as man and wife, stolen from us, defiled. And so she throws the remote and she says, I love you, Mary Jane. You can see the web here more than I ever realized. And so Peter comes through, takes off his mask, and they embrace, hug, and I love you as this little spider comes through. So we get a nice little moment, and he has like a bit of a nightmare, wakes up. I thought I was down there, I thought. And he's like, whispers, Mary Jane, and she's like, in the bathroom, hon. She's here, thank God she's here. Peter, what's going on? Get back in bed. And he's like, I've got to, he's whispering. You're not going anywhere. You can hardly stand, you can hardly walk. Voice will come back soon. Vocal cords just have to. And she's like, I don't care about your voice. You've been through a traumatic experience. I've been through a traumatic experience, and I'm not letting you out of my sight until. And Peter says, Mary Jane, I don't want to go. Believe me. I want to stay right here with you where it's safe, where nothing bad can touch me. But don't you see he's out there? He's waiting. He's murdered in my name. I've got to. And so again, we've got Kraven here. He's coming. And so, Peter, please, after what you've been through, what he's done to you, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, he says. But you need time to sort it all out. For the past 2 weeks, you're going. And he says, I'm going. And so this is a nice touching moment here as she puts her hand on him. He holds it and then off he goes. Oh my goodness gracious. And so he swings through, and you can see his spider senses going off. And so he arrives there, and his spider sense goes off again. And there's Kraven smiling as Peter approaches him, but he quits smiling, and he looks behind him. He's here. Oh my goodness gracious. And so, part 5, Thunder, and another great cover here. I don't think this series has a single bad cover. All 6 covers are absolutely wonderful here. So we got Amazing Spider-Man 294. And here we go. Krakoom, Thunder. And so we're going back to a Vermin here. And of course, we've got the same creative team. And we've got Vermin, and Kraven's narrating this part here. And a woman of rare breeding, true nobility, and a tender heart. He's talking about his mother. I guess I should have read it in the first page. Driven out of Russia by the Trotskys and the Lenins, driven to America where she was overwhelmed by the poverty, the filth, the utter mundanity of life here. And so finally locked away like an animal, trapped, abused, terrified. And so he holds on to it. He's getting electrocuted, and my father, his spirit broken, allowed it. And I, just a child, could only watch, as helpless as she was. They said my mother was insane. That she took her own life. They lied. And so back here, we see this of Spider-Man here with Kraven. Her life was stolen from her, stolen by the spider as he watches. And so they acknowledge each other here. Oh, I see now. I understand in a way I never could before. This costume adventure called Spider-Man is just that, a man. I love the fog here for dramatic effect here. And so Spider-Man lunges at Kraven here, and we got Kraven's thoughts here. And yet within him is something more, something great, something awful. And Peter says, you've gone too far this time, Kraven. And Kraven here, the essence of the demon that brought Russia to ruin. And Peter says, you robbed me of 2 weeks of my life, you animal. And back to Kraven, the demon that destroyed my father consumed my mother. And he punches him 2 weeks, and you see that crack. And the demon, I have long last, and then he spits out, defeated, and he smiles. Very cool here. And you see this thunder here. Boom. Yes, I hear, I understand. It's almost time, but not yet. Not till my victory is complete, and it will only be complete. And Peter says, I'm going to make you hurt. I'm going to make you suffer. I'm going to make you. When he understands, hit me again if you like, Spider-Man. Hit me 100 times. I won't resist. I won't fight. There's no reason to fight. But he doesn't understand as Peter looks. Don't you see? I finally won. Love the screen tones being applied there. Just awesome. I'm a big fan of screen tones. And so Kraven, he starts to undress, take off the Spider-Man's uniform. I killed you, Spider-Man, buried you, and after I killed you, as the thunder goes, I took your place. And you can see Vermin's trying to get away here. You drugged me, Kraven, threw me into a state of simulating death. And Kraven continues getting undressed here. You could just as well have been dead had I wished it. I only allowed you to live. And you can see Vermin growling and the thunder cracking here. So that you could know I killed you. That in donning your costume and replacing you, I proved myself in always your superior. You see here Vermin again with the electrified fence. The man is confused, but the spider comprehends. I feel his awe, his reverence, his submission. And so Kraven is putting his regular combat attire back on. But it is a part of the dance, part of the plan, for the man to comprehend as well. So I'll show him the truth, and when we finally share it, we'll both be free. Follow me, Spider-Man. And Peter says, you expect me to just, and then Kraven says, you have special senses to warn you of danger, so you know that there's no trap waiting below. Come with me, as he walks away. And Kraven says, he hesitates. He comes. What else can he do? And again, you see the rat and the spider here. So he follows. How calm I feel, how peaceful, as if something inside me, some knot, some tangled of fear and anger, so much more, has finally been untied. All these years, fleeing Russia, suffocating in America, finding release, finding honor in the jungle, all these years, and I've never known peace or calm or that elusive thing called happiness. But I feel as if I can know it now, that it's nearby, just outside, perhaps hidden in the patter of the rain, the drum beat of the thunder. So as he walks down, we get to this chamber here where Vermin hangs on to this electrified fence here. And of course, Spider-Man recognizes and calls him out. Yes, your old foe Vermin, says Kraven. The newspaper have been calling him the cannibal killer, but we know what he really is, don't we? The perfect fusion of man and animal, a vile, tormented, beautiful beast. So I love these types of pages, like a splash page with short little panels in here, but it's really just a splash page. So, and that I have beaten and captured, and you see the lightning here. I could feel him out there, Spider-Man. I could touch his soul, and I knew that, what role he had to play in our little game. And Vermin's like, please let me out. He was the final test, the final proof. You were unable to defeat him alone. You and Captain America barely do it together, but I defeated him. Look at him, whimpering, terrified, pathetic little mouse. And I did it. And you see this big smile on him. He tosses the torch in there. No, don't burn me. Don't hurt me anymore, please. And Spider-Man is crawling up there, crawling upward. The man filled with compassion for the cowering beast, the spider delighting in vermin's torment. So, but of course, all Vermin knows is that Spider-Man hunted, defeated, captured, humiliated him. The very sight of that black costume, those white eyes, drive the little mouse wild. And you can see Spider-Man, no, as he tries to get, don't hurt me again. And so the man behind the mask does what he can to alleviate the mouse's pain. So he grabs the torch and takes him out, then skitters back down the wall, turning his rage upon me, as if I were to blame for all this. What a monumental joke. Oh, beautiful panel here. Oh, my goodness gracious. And so we continue here. It was in the jungles that I first began to understand the ways of the spirits and demons of ravenous spider here. So again, the mouse and the spider here. And tonight I finally see that even the man inhabited the spider is ignorant. Kraven, as Peter calls out, of its devious ways. I have had it with you. Do you hear me? You think you can just turn my life inside out and then stand there grinning like some brain-damaged gorilla? Well, you can't. And Kraven continues, poor man, possessed by the entity responsible for human suffering, world chaos, and he doesn't even know it. I was as naive once before I left this corrupted excuse for civilization behind. Before I found the honor and dignity I lost in my country, my parents fell to the spider in the primitive wilds of Africa. Hear me, Spider-Man, hear me. Hear the bellow of the elephant, the roar of the lion, the triumph of Kraven. And he jumps into the stuffed elephant. And Spider-Man picks it up and drops him. Shut up, he says. My triumph frightens you, doesn't it? Oh, there's still a world out there for you to capture. Oh, sorry, for you to torture and feed upon. Entrails to chew up, minds to spit out. You know the game is over and you've lost. But you know that you no longer have Kraven in your power. That only scares you. It saddens you. In some strange, inexplicable ways, it saddens me too. And you hear the thunder. I love how Kraven just gets up and just puts his hand there like a tenderness moment. And then Spider-Man just slaps it out. You recoil. Why? Does my affection embarrass you? No, it's not that. It's just that the game isn't quite done. Not yet. And so Kraven hits this button here. You can see the click there as he smiles. And Vermin comes out. It's not enough to display the truth. The truth must be set free, experienced firsthand. And so Kraven says, this is the finale, Spider-Man. And he says, you expect me to fight with him, don't you? Fight for your amusement? No, my emancipation. Well, I won't do it. And Vermin's like, please don't hurt me. And Kraven's like, you won't have to. Vermin, this is your chance. Spider-Man beat you down, hurt you in a way you've never been hurt before. Don't let him get away with it. Don't let him think he's better, stronger than you are. Hurt him back, Vermin. You owe it to yourself, to all of us. Hurt him back. And you can see Vermin just kind of get serious, and then all of a sudden get really mean, and he then goes to attack Spider-Man. And so Kraven's like, hurt him, Vermin. And then Peter's like, Vermin, don't. He's using you, making you a fool. He's like, liar, you made a fool of me. And in hurting him, in defeating him. No, Vermin, it wasn't me. It was Kraven in my costume, mimicking my powers. And he's like, liar, as he shreds through the stuffed elephant here. You'll make him see. I killed the spider. I became the spider. I vanquished the one foe the spider couldn't. I'm going to tear you up. I'm going to rip out your heart, says Vermin. All the years, all the shame erased as you see the lightning and the thunder. No, Vermin, I'm not going to. And he hits Spider-Man and he screams out in pain. Honor so long sought, elusive, will be restored. How old I suddenly feel. All right, if that's the way you want it. And so Spider-Man is going to fight him. That's the way it's going to be. How utterly tired. The game was a good one, man to Spider-Man, but it was so very long. You can see the the rat and the spider here are about to go fighting too. That's the way it's going to be as he continues hitting him and the thunder and the lightning. That said, my mother was. He shot me. He buried me. He buried me. Don't you know what that's like, you stupid, disgusting animal? Don't you know what that's like? As Spider-Man hits him, continues hitting him. And here, the spider charges the rat, and you can see the rat. And Spider-Man lifts his fist, and finally he goes, no. And Kraven just kind of like watches, a little saddened here. And so here you see the rat gets the spider, and then of course that's exactly what happens as Vermin jumps on Spider-Man here. And so he kicks him, and what would you say? He doesn't really punch him, slashes him. Thunder and the lightning here was insane. We're continuing from the previous part here, and so the rat's eating the spider, and so you see Spider-Man here. Now, Spider-Man, I'm gonna eat you alive. And suddenly Kraven grabs the whip. No! And he snaps it here and throws a knife here. The point has been made. Your work is done. Go, go, go. And Vermin freaks out and goes, free! And Spider-Man's like, Kraven, you can't just let him go. He's killed before, he'll kill again. And Kraven's like, no matter. The spider is alive in him. There will undoubtedly be others to rise up in opposition, but it's no longer my concern. And he lifts him up. He says, let me help you. My spider is gone. Now there's only a man. As Vermin continues running through, and Kraven takes Spider-Man upstairs. A good man, I think. How strange that I haven't been able to see it till now. No matter. I do see, and seeing Spider-Man, I thank you, and I bless you. If one such as Kraven can give blessings. And Spider-Man is like, Kraven, I don't understand. And there's one final thing I see. Something I don't think I was capable of seeing till now. Every man has his spider, and perhaps I. And Kraven says, you're free to go. Just like that, go. After all you've done, do you really think I'm gonna? And then Kraven says, a man like you won't let Vermin run loose. Go, follow your conscience. I have been yours. Go while you go merrily along, hunting, ruining people's lives. Sorry, using people too. And then Kraven says, after all these years, you surely know that I'm a man of my word. And I give you my word, from this night forward, Kraven the Hunter will never hunt again. And so Spider-Man kind of looks at him and says, I'll be back, as he rushes out the window. I don't doubt it. Every man, every woman, every nation, every age has a spider. You have been mine. What a burden. What an honor. As the lightning hits outside and it reflects on him. That is pretty cool here. So, and Kraven watches as Spider-Man goes to get Vermin. And so he rushes down, and Kraven says, goodbye. How calm I feel, how peaceful, as if something inside me, some knot, some tangle of fear and anger, and so much more has finally been untied. And so you see the compound, and where Spider-Man dug himself out, and then Kraven and his parents here. All these years, fleeing Russia, suffocating in America, finding release, finding honor in the jungle. All these years, and I never known peace or calm, or that elusive thing called happiness. As he looks upon the picture here. But I feel as I can now, but I feel as if I can know it now, that it's nearby, just outside perhaps, hidden in the patter of the rain, the drumbeat of the thunder. And so he puts down the picture and picks up his rifle here. Peace, calm, happiness, an ending now. And so thunder and lightning as he grabs the gun, puts it in his mouth. They said my mother was insane, and so he pulls the trigger here, boom, and he lands in there, blood falling, and blood running down the picture. And so concluded in the next issue. Now, before we conclude this with the following issue, I think this could have been done in the 5 issues. And I know why they did 6, because it's a 2-month event. But this is really it as far as the story. The rest is Spider-Man trying to go get oh my goodness gracious, Vermin. But I always felt, even now, that really this is the end of it, and that the 6th part is sort of unnecessary, because it could have just been resolved in the regular comic books. It didn't need to, I don't know. I always felt like this really is the end of Kraven's Last Hunt, but there is a 6th part, so we'll continue with it because we are gonna do the whole thing. So, of course, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 132, and we see the conclusion here of Spider-Man versus Vermin. Mike Zeck is such a good artist, and Ascending is the title. And so Spider-Man's in the sewers here. I don't want to be here, and so we're looking here as he's remembering where he was on the coffin here. I want to be home with my wife, where it's warm and safe, as he's crawling through sewage. Yuck. I'm afraid. I'm so afraid, and you can see him in the middle trying to get out of the coffin here. But I can't let my fear stop me. And so Ascending, and of course now it says Mike Zeck breakdowns. So Bob McLeod is a good penciler, so he does a really good job finishing up the this art. So anyway, so here he is as he's going through the sewer and the dirt and all that kind of stuff here. So I'll just kind of keep moving this along. This video's probably been a little long, 6 parts. So basically Peter is just he's afraid, but he's overcoming it, as this guy now is making a new grave here. So he comes through. Oh, yuck. Oh, sewers are so disgusting and so much vile, and that's gonna get infected, probably rabies and whatnot. But hey, he bites him here, and Spider-Man tosses the little guy, and so they're all coming for him here, and so he's remembering again. So this is not Kraven. This is just him sort of imagining them putting him in there. And so he's kind of freaking out for the moment here. Again, they're putting Spider-Man down. So that's kind of what we're getting here. Kind of like, what's going on? What happened? What's going on? So, and the dude digging a new grave. Why don't they just put him where Spider-Man was? And so the police are there. Detective Carson, yo, that anonymous caller sure was right, huh? This place sure did belong to Kraven. Seems that way. A lot more than seems, sir. We found something. He says, what? Looks like a confession. And so there's Kraven putting on the costume, and he basically says that he killed that guy. It's not Spider-Man. So we're getting some resolution, but I still feel this issue is unnecessary, but I do understand why there is a part 6. You got 3 titles, 2 months, that's 6. So, and so he's looking for Vermin, and Vermin shows up here, and we're going to have one more fight between the two of them here. back and forth. And here, Spider-Man digging himself out. Again, I'm not really going to need to read some of these parts. It's getting kind of redundant, and now that we're getting toward the end, it's basically inner monologue of, oh, I gotta do this, I can't, I gotta do this, I can't. So you can see them fighting here. Very Sal Buscema-ish. You can definitely tell that this is being finished as opposed to penciled. You can see that the art is sort of rushed. I don't know how long he had to do this, but this is what I mean, that Mike Zeck just struggled with the monthly deadlines. So Vermin's looking for Spider-Man, who's under that disgusting water, and yeah, I love this black costume. Again, just a reminder, and you probably already know this, but just a reminder, it is not the symbiote. It was just an actual costume at that time. So once Todd McFarlane comes back, then of course he goes back to the old costume because that's the one he wanted to draw. So and Spider-Man's like, listen to me, Vermin, I don't want to hurt you. I don't. And he says no, and he says no. I want to stop your hurt. Oh, that would be nice. I want to take you up. No more hit and hurt and hurt. Out of the darkness. Out of the darkness. No. As he's now getting webbed here. And so now you can see that morning is here. And so he's like, the light is terrible. I love the black, the cold, the wonderful filth. Yuck. And so the back at it for these two. And so Spider-Man runs and Vermin goes, oh, he's mine, because he's running away. So off we go. Peter's running. And so Spider-Man goes up. And so Vermin's like, me too. And so he gets up there. And all the people are there. And he's like, oh, no. As we continue digging. And he's about to get hit. But Spider-Man catches him and takes him to the cops. And he gift wraps them for him. And Spider-Man says, Vermin, there's a man I'm going to call. His name's Reed Richards. If anybody can help you, he can. And so, no, I don't want your help. I don't. Well, you're going to get it, whether you want to or not. So off goes Spider-Man. Got the Daily Bugle with the confession. And off he goes back into the light. And so we get our epilogue here with Mary Jane looking at Peter's pictures. Peter comes home. Yuck, he was just in the sewer. He has to stink. But she doesn't care. She loves him. And, oh, he would be filthy. I'd be like, I need a shower. And so we end with Kraven's funeral. Poor guy's dug 2 graves. And they set him down. Died with honor. Now he's going to fill up the cemetery. There's the rat here fighting the spider. Spider, burning bright in the forest of the night. What immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? So, there we go. So, this concludes Kraven's Last Hunt. What do you guys think? I think it's pretty cool. I think it was completely different to what Spider-Man had been. It is a darker story, for sure. But some parts were a little redundant in the writing portion of it. I love the art. I think J.M. DeMatteis could have done without some of the words or some of the redundancy. But other than that, I thought it's a pretty cool story. It was so different, for like I said, from anything done at that time before. I still feel that the 6th issue was unnecessary, but again, I understand the why. So, all right, so remember, this was done over 6 issues. Web of Spider-Man 31 and 32, Amazing Spider-Man 293 and 294, and Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man 131 through 132 from 1987. like and subscribe, and I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.